Good evening, everybody. So glad to have you here. I'm excited to share some creativity and fun with you tonight. Tonight, we're going to be working with the Regency Park suite. I love this suite. I love the papers. I love the stamp sets with the dies and the punch. And I hope that you're really going to love my creations that I've created from this beautiful suite in our new mini catalog. Before we go into stamping, though, I would love it if you would say hello to me down in the comments and let me know that you're here. I always give a little prize out. Hi, Roz. Thanks for coming. For people who comment and share and like me and let me know where they're from and let me know how you liked the creations that I have for you tonight. All of those things make me really happy. So I would love it if you would let me know that you're here and that you're watching. That just helps me feel like I'm not alone. I'm going to go over here and make sure, first of all, that my computer's sound is down and that I can see your comments off to the side here, okay? So thanks for coming. So we've got a lot to talk about, and I don't want to take too much time going blah, blah, blah at the beginning of the video, because I know how annoying that can be. But there are some exciting things that I want to chat with you about before I get started creating. So if you would give me just a minute. Hello, everybody that is coming in. I really appreciate you watching me. I'm going to flip my camera down and around here, and I'm going to be upside down for just half a second. And then hopefully everything will be going the right way. I might lift that up just a little bit more there. There we go. Hi, Chelsea. Thanks for joining me. Okay, so first of all, we are in the midst of celebration right now, which is always a very exciting time. And during celebration, I always have a celebration at the end. And I just realized celebration spelt wrong right there. So don't ignore that. Celebration. It's going to be on March the 11th, 2023, and it's going to be a frog party. It'll be here in Lincoln, but if you live out of town and you meet the qualifications for this party, I will gladly send you the card kit and the prizes that everybody else are going to get for being able to come to this. Hi, Kathy. Thanks for joining me. So the frog party will be on March the 11th. It's going to be from 1 to 3 in the afternoon if you're coming here in person. And the way you qualify for the frog party is that you spend $100 with me during January and February during celebration, and I add those together. So if you spend $75 this month and $25 next month, then I add those together. And so everyone, I run some data, and everyone who spent $100 with me between January the 5th and February the 28th gets to come to this party for free, and it's always so much fun. So the reason it's called the Frog Party is because we are going to be using the At the Pond stamp set that is at the back of the catalog, the mini catalog on page 90. This is a hostess only stamp set. Well, I get so much in free rewards during celebration that I'm hoping to have lots of these stamp sets available for people who come to the frog party, okay? It's going to be so much fun. So first thing is that you want to be a part of that because I really spoil my customers who spoil me during celebration, okay? The second thing is talk about a fun class. So this class, I just put the date in over this last weekend. We are going to be using Erica Serwin's Taco Fiesta. I should have marked that page here. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Stamp set. And maybe somebody out there can help me find what page it's on. It is so cute. I fell in love with it the moment I saw. Actually, I fell in love with it when Erica told me what it was going to be. This is Erica's stamp set that she designed for her $1 million stamp set. And I have seen so many cute things. I thought I really want to have a taco party. My taco party is going to be on Martin Luther King Day. And the reason why this date was scheduled so late is because we thought we were going out of town. That didn't end up working out. So I said, I'm going to have a taco party. So it's going to be on Martin Luther King Day, Monday, January the 16th from 2 to 4. I put this out to my customers on Friday night, and it was sold out by Saturday afternoon. However, I put on my Facebook page that it was full, that nobody could come. And then I forgot about one thing, and that is that you can also take it to go. So it's not really sold out. It can't really ever sell out. But then I also had one of my customers that isn't going to be able to make it that thought she could. So I do have an in-person spot available here in Lincoln if you would like to come to the taco party and make some cute. We have a couple of 3D things and a couple of cards using the Taco Fiesta stamp set. But you can always get it to go as well. I'll put the link to that in the description of this video after it's over. Okay, and then my Love is in the Air retreat is getting full. I have 4 more spots left open for this retreat. It's on January 28th. It's all day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. It is 2 classes worth of product and kits and PDFs. We are going to use, let me go back this way, the Share a Milkshake Suite, and we're going to make 4 projects using that. You will also get some of these milky dots. You're going to get some fresh freesia ribbon. You're going to get some paper to make all of your products, PDF, everything, okay? This is a big deal, these retreats are. And then the big hit of the day is going to be this Country Floral Lane Suite. And I want you to see, not only do you get 2 classes worth of product, you are getting a whole package of this beautiful gingham, what do they call it? Country gingham 6x6 paper. You're going to get a whole package of this, okay? You're going to get a whole package, double package of ribbon. You're going to get a whole package of the pastel adhesive backed sequins, all right? And so that all comes, but you're also going to get treats, and we're going to have prizes, and we're going to play games. There's going to be a lot of free stuff. I cater us a beautiful hot lunch. So it is definitely worth the price. The cost of the whole day is $85, and I think it's worth every penny, maybe even more. I tried to spoil you guys a little bit. So if you would like to come to the Love is in the Air retreat, you need to sign up pretty soon because it's going to close in about a week and a half, okay? All right, I'm going to put all of that aside. SALE-a-Bration is the time when for every $50 you spend out of our mini catalog or our regular everyday catalog, which is right here, you can pick something out of the SALE-a-Bration. We have 2 levels. We have level 1, which are these, and I now can show you the inside because it's official. We have the owls, we have the carrots, we have the beautiful dainty flowers. At my SALE-a-Bration kickoff on Saturday, everybody loved this. They love those flowers. We have the At the Farm DSP that coordinates with the At the Farm stamp set and dies. We have this beautiful sending support with lots of sentiments about taking care of people. We have the beautiful Favored Flowers DSP. We had some fun with that as well on Saturday. We have the In the Country. This is a beautiful watercoloring, you can see the sample here, set that's perfect for watercoloring. So those are all of our level 1s. Our level 2s are the Beautifully Happy stamp set on page 13 and the Dandy Designs paper that is 12 by 12. This is a super thick 48 sheet pack of paper, and it's just so fun. Fun spring, fresh, small, petite patterns that are just so easy to use on lots of different cards. And then if you host a class or spend over $300, you get this stamp set for free, the Scenic Garden. So that is something special. Now, real quickly, let's talk about the joining special. You have 3 options. Look at this cute mini die cutting and embossing machine. Now this is petite, like it's very light and it sits in my hand. I don't know how petite it looks in the camera, but this is a new color that will be coming out this next year called Boho Blue. Now you can join in 3 different ways. Option 1 is you get the Boho Blue mini die cutting machine and $175 worth of any other product you want for $129. Okay, so let's say you don't like the blue and you'd rather have the white machine. Same thing. You can get the white machine, $175 worth of product for $129. Or let's say you already have a machine. You're like, Judy, I really don't need another machine. Then you can join for $99 and get $175 worth of product. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, I was stamping for about 10 years. I'm going to talk to you about this while I put some things away and get out my stamping. I was stamping for about 10 years for several different demonstrators back in the day. And I only had one person ask me once if I wanted to join. I thought if I joined to be a demonstrator that I would have to do what they did, which is hold classes. And that is what I do now. But at the time, I was nowhere in the mindset to do that. That is not the reason you want to join. The reason you want to join is to get that amazing 20% discount for as long as you desire, okay? There are no strings attached when you join. You can drop at any time. But if you love to stamp, the main reason that 99% of Stampin' Up! Demonstrators join is for the discount, not to demonstrate, have classes, do Facebook Lives, all of that. Okay, so I'm pulling things out here that are all a part of the Regency Park suite that is in the mini catalog, okay? This beautiful cane lattice embossing folder. You're going to see this in action. It's so pretty. I love that. The Regency Park Designer Series paper. Just lots of navy, which I love. I love that shaded spruce in there, but bright, fun, very spring, summery color. Look at that sweet sorbet. Isn't that so pretty? The balmy blue with the navy is lovely, and this is petal pink with balmy blue. So pretty, just fresh, fun, beautiful prints. That's a 6x6 paper pack. We have the Petal Park stamp set that coordinates with this punch. It's a bundle, so you can get that at a discount. And this punch cuts out these flowers here. We're going to do some of that tonight. You also have the Sentimental Park stamp set, and this is the awesome thing about this. Lots of awesome things I'm going to show you in a minute, but one of them is just these beautiful scripted fonts. I love that, and how it coordinates so you can add whatever occasion you want to add to the scripted sentiments. So let's celebrate happy birthday. Let's celebrate your anniversary. Let's celebrate your new baby. Thanks, you are amazing. Just cool things. Love you. So there's all kinds of things. Then you get this whole set of dies that is just beautiful. Flowers and labels and stems. It all coordinates together. It's just so much fun. Then this navy organdy ribbon is a part of that. These milky dots all coordinate with the paper just so beautifully. Look at that. Isn't that fun? So this is all a part of that Regency Park suite that is in the mini catalog. I love that paper too, Kathy. It's just so much fun. So I'm going to show you one at a time what I have designed and then show you how I put them together. If you would like a card kit for these cards, you will get a kit that gives you 2 each of the 3 cards I make, so you can make 6 cards. You can get the kit with a $35 order by Friday, if you order from me by Friday, or if you place a $50 order, you get a SALE-a-Bration set, item from the SALE-a-Bration catalog, and the kit, and an embellishment package for me. Okay, so that's all a good deal. So let's start. The first card we are going to make tonight is this one right here. I used that designer series paper that has the shaded spruce in the background. So this card base is a shaded spruce card base. It is cut 4.5. Oh, that's not right. Let me change that. It should say 4.25 by 11, and then it's scored at 5.5. Okay, scored at 5.5. So 4.25 by 11, scored at 5.5. Okay, and then we have some other pieces here. I'm just going to lay these out here as I tell you about them. You're going to need some white paper, some basic white. And the basic white, you're going to need 1 piece for the outside that's 3.25 by 4.5. You're going to need an inside panel that's 4 inches by 5.25 inches. And then you're going to need some scraps for the flowers and the sentiment and that sort of thing. Okay? You need some DSP. And look, this actually, look at this is mango medley, and look at the flowers in there. So these are 2 different pieces of the DSP. Look at how the back sides coordinate so well together, and the front sides coordinate so well together. So this piece is 2 inches by 5.5 inches. And then this piece is 1/2 of an inch. And I'm going to cut it to 3.25. I went ahead and left it long because I like to cut things as I put them on my card. But to fit the card, it'll need to be 1/2 by 3.25. Okay, and that's about it. That's about all we need. Okay, so I'm going to start with my shaded spruce cardstock that is cut 4.25 by 11 and scored at 5.5. I'm going to add to that this strip that's 2 inches by 5.5 inches right there to the front of the card base, about 1/4 of an inch off the left hand side. Okay, so I'm going to attach that. There we go. And I don't know why, but you know, it seems like it's always just a little hair too long, the DSP compared to the cardstock. I don't know why that is. Maybe the scoring and folding takes up a little bit of length. I don't know. It's always interesting. Okay, so there we go. Then I'm going to take my piece that is 3.25 by 4.5. Okay. And I'm going to first stamp on this paper the outline image of all the leaves. So I'm going to ink this up with shaded spruce. Oh my goodness, right here. I was having a panic attack. I'm like, not again, Judy. Okay, so I've got shaded spruce here. I'm going to ink those leaves up. These cards are going to be beautiful. You're going to love them. Okay. And this is going to go right like this on the front of this piece of white that was 3.25 by 4.5. I like that. Okay. Put that off to the side. Now I'm going to take the inside image of that. And the first thing I want to do is try to get this lined up here inside. Let's turn it this way, right? So that those leaves lay right inside the leaves that I put down. And then I'm just going to pick it up with my block, right like that. Okay? I'm going to ink this up, But before I put it on my cardstock, I'm going to get a scrap of white paper and stamp it off. I'm just taking some copy paper here. Inking up my leaves in the same shaded spruce. I'm going to stamp it off. There we go. And now I'm going to stamp it inside as close as I can. If it's a tiny bit off, it's okay. There we go. Look how perfect that is. Beautiful. Okay, I'm going to put that off to the side. Next, I'm going to take my thanks and I'm going to stamp it right here towards the bottom of those leaves in shaded spruce as well. Okay. All right. Now, just for a little bit of reference, I'm going to take my mango medley and my outline image of my 3 flowers, and I'm going to stamp it in, and you're going to see that the leaves, you know, the leaves kind of go over the flowers a little bit, but we're not going to worry about that, and I'll show you why. So that is just to give me a reference of where I want to put my flowers. Okay, so now I'm going to put that aside. I'm going to grab a scrap of white, and I'm going to do that again. I'm going to ink up my outline with Mango Medley, and I'm going to stamp it on my white piece of paper. And then I'm going to ink up the inside image, but I'm going to do just what I did with the leaves. And I'm going to stamp it off once to kind of lighten it up a little bit. And then I'm going to line up. Look how easy that is. They've just made it so it just fits all together like a puzzle. There we go. So pretty, huh? All right. Now I'm going to put that away. I'm going to take out my punch that coordinates with the stamp set, Petal Park, and I am going to punch out those flowers. So you'll see that it just all fits in there perfectly. Now you need a little patience for making sure it's all lined up. There we go. Not so bad. And I'm just going to punch that boop, right out there. Okay. Now I'm going to use some mini dimensionals, and like I said, the only reason I put these flowers here is so I would know where to line these flowers up at. Okay, so I'm going to put some dimensionals and some mini dimensionals on the back side of my flowers. So those of you who are out there, what is your favorite out of the mini catalog right now? I would say mine is definitely, gosh, I have so many, I don't even know. I thought it was the, let me line this up here. There we go. There's one of my flowers. And I'm just taking my fingernail, you guys, and I'm just kind of rolling those petals up just to give them a little bit of dimension. And then it just helps them kind of pop off the page a little bit more, I think. Hi, Jody. Thanks for joining us. I love when you guys are here. Makes me feel less alone as I do my Facebook Lives. Okay, so there's that one. And then I have one more here, and I think I better use a mini on this one because it's a little smaller. So let me grab some minis out of here. Here we go. that is going to go right there. Isn't that pretty and fun? All right, then I'm going to take this little strip that I cut that's a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to attach it right here to the bottom of that panel, okay? I'm going to use a little seal. Take this away for a minute, and just going to attach that right here. I might do it this way, to the bottom of my panel. There we go. Trim that off. That's just a little 1/2 inch strip of that DSP that is Mango Medley. There we go. And I'm going to take some of those milky dots, and they're so pretty, right? I'm going to use these ones up here that were just a little bit of a pale yellow. I think it's actually pale papaya, if I remember correctly. But these dots do kind of take on the color of the things around them. So I'm just going to put down, oh, I do have it, good, some assorted little milky dots around there. Here we go. Some smaller ones here. Just scatter them around. Fill in some of those spaces where your eye tends to go and it feels empty. There we go. And I always like to use odd numbers. So there's my 5th one. Okay, we've got 2 stuck to my putty. It might be time to put some new putty in my take your pick tool here. All right, there we go. Isn't that pretty? Okay, we are so close to being done. It's crazy. All right, so then I've got just another little scrap of white, and I'm going to go to my shaded spruce here. And I'm going to stamp, hi Debbie, thanks for joining us. I'm going to stamp "You Are Amazing" right here on my basic white. There we go, so perfect, right? Put that away because I definitely don't want to put my hand in that tonight. And then I'm going to bring up my little mini cute boho blue mini die cutting machine and my stylish shapes, and I'm using this skinny little longer one right here. If you don't have the stylish shapes, you guys, I use these on almost every card I make. I'm not joking. I love that die set. They had the one that used to be called, oh, it's not coming to me right now. And I thought I couldn't live without it, but look, I can't even remember the name of it. So obviously I can live without it. But I loved it, and I thought, I can't believe they're taking that away. And now this is my new favorite. You just need a set of dies that are simple shapes for sentiments and everything else, and the stylish shape dies really fit the bill for that. Okay, look at that cute mini die. It just went in, cut. Look, not heavy. You don't hear me groaning as I'm picking it up to put it on the floor. All right, and so "You Are Amazing" is going to go right down here, and I'm even going to have it go off the edge of my card just a little bit. I'm going to pop that up with some dimensionals. So none of you have told me what you love the most out of the mini so far, so chime in. I'd love to hear what you have to say. That might make me want to create with something that I wasn't thinking I would. So if there's something you'd like to see me create with, I would love to know what you love. So here we go. "You Are Amazing." It's going to go off that edge just a little bit, and then I'm going to take this whole panel and attach it to the front of the card with some more dimensionals. Oh, look, I laid that down in a weird spot there. Okay, here we go. Sue. Hey, Sue. I sent you a Christmas card and it got returned to me today. I don't know why. I don't know if I used the wrong address. Have you moved? Because it said address unknown. It was so weird. I've sent you a lot of things in the past. I don't know why this one got returned. So we'll have to talk about that later. But I was sad. I'm always sad when any of my Christmas cards get returned for some reason, because I'm like, oh, they missed the joy of opening that up. Now look at this. Isn't that so cute? I just love this card. So simple, elegant, right? And then all we're gonna do is take this inside panel. I'm gonna take my white. Thank you, Kathy. I really like that card too. And I'm gonna stamp some more of those flowers. Just the outside edge here. Just in this corner right here, just to give it a little something inside. There we go. Put that away. I'm gonna adhere this to the inside of my card. And card number 1 will be completely done. There we go. There's our first card. That is using Shaded Spruce and Mango Medley are the colors in that DSP. And Stampin' Up! Makes that so easy for us to coordinate because they tell us exactly what colors to use that are in the DSP. So we know how to match things, okay? So that is card number 1. Thank you. I'm glad you love that. Okay, so let's move on to card number 2. I don't think I need my punch for that one, so I'm going to set that back in there. The second card we're going to make, let me put this to the side and clean up after making our Shaded Spruce card here. Here is our second card, and there's something cool that I discovered after. Let me clean all these stamps off here so I don't make a mess. Hi, Becky. Thanks for joining me. Hope your day at school was good. So there's something cool about this die set that I want to show you to make sure that I didn't notice it until I die cut out that Balmy Blue label, and I realized something special about it. So give me just a second here. I'm gonna make sure everything's cleaned off so I don't make a mess. Okay, there we go. All right. So this was kind of a brainchild of mine, so I hope you enjoy this card. I think it's really pretty. Thank you. We are going to, I put all my measurements on here. We're going to start with a card base that is Night of Navy. I really like the Night of Navy colors that are in this DSP, and there's a lot of them that are Night of Navy and Balmy Blue. So I have all these strips that I've cut of just all kinds of different sizes. So I took the DSP papers from that Regency Park DSP, and I just cut strips that had navy in them, okay? So I cut some strips that are 1/2 inch, and I cut some that are 3/4 of an inch, and I cut some of them that were 1 inch, okay? And we're gonna use those here in just a second. Then I have a card base that's 5.5 by 8.5 and scored down the middle at 4 1/4. That's a pretty standard size card. And then look at this. This is that cane embossing folder. Cane lattice embossing folder. It comes in this suite. It's so pretty. And I just took a piece of Night of Navy that was 4 inches by 5 1/4, and I embossed it with that cane embossing folder. Here it is right here. So pretty, okay? So I'm gonna take that and I'm just gonna adhere it right here on the front of my card base. Now, I don't know if it's true or not, but I like to add my seal to the card base, and I just keep about a quarter to a half of an inch off the edge, because I don't like adding pressing with my seal on my embossed piece, because I feel like you press out some of the embossed image. So I always put my adhesive on the card base and then add the embossed piece on top. Isn't that so pretty? I just love that. Okay, before I go much further, I think I'm going to go ahead and add my inside basic white, and I am taking the image from Sentimental Park, and I'm taking this little just flower image right here, and I am going to add with Balmy Blue just some flowers in opposite corners, just to give some interest to the inside of the card. So I'm going to stamp it right there, and then I'm going to stamp it, tap, tap, tap. I tell my customers, if ink is getting on the block, you're pressing too hard. You really should be able to just tap, 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 and get enough ink on your stamp to create a nice image, okay? So that's gonna be in my opposite corners. Thank you. And then I'm going to attach, I see some comments coming in, and I don't want to get distracted, because, you know, I have a really hard time doing two things at once. Those of you who've followed me for a while totally get that with me. So I promise I will go back and read all of your comments and respond if I don't respond to you during my video. Here we go. And then this is kind of an interesting thing. So I have a piece of basic white that starts out 4 3/4 by 3 1/2. And on this piece, I'm going to add these strips to the front, and then I'm going to cut it down a little bit and kind of even it all out. Okay. So I just took some strips, and I'm just randomly adding them on to Fancy Floral Disc. Yes, I think it's very pretty too, Chelsea. And I'm not even doing it exactly like I did the one on this card over here. I'm just gonna shake it up a bit, okay? So I'm just gonna start adding strips of DSP to my card front here. I'm not going to really worry about trying to get them even or straight or anything. I'm just going to lay them down, give some interest to the background there. Okay, I've got this striped piece here. I did kind of try to separate my florals with some designs that weren't floral. So let's go kind of like that. And then I'm going to take, I really love this piece right here. So I'm going to add that here to the front. And again, not worry about getting it too straight. I'm going to kind of separate them all out. And then what else do I have here that I could use? Those are all kind of different. Okay, I think I'll use this one, and I'm gonna just add it right here to this side over here. Aren't those pretty? And they just mix and match so well. It kind of reminds me of the 60s when we were flower children. We didn't care about our prints matching all the time, right? We just kind of laid them out, and we had those patchwork blouses, right, that had all kinds of different prints on them. Okay, so I'm going to take my paper trimmer, and I'm just going to trim this down to about 4. So right now it is 4 3/4. So I'm going to go to about 4 1/2, but I don't want to do the whole 4 1/2 at once. So I'm just going to cut it off here. Cut that end off. Then I'm going to go this way. Go to 4 1/2. There we go. And then this way, I'm going to go 3 1/4. Just kind of get some of those rough edges off the sides. And so now we've got this panel that's just kind of a mixture of all those DSPs. It's kind of fun, huh? All right, so I am now going to adhere this to the top of my card, and I'm going to use some dimensionals. So let me grab another panel because I used most of the big ones. I know I can cut the edges, and normally I would, but right now in my video, I'm just going to pull them off and put them on there, okay? There we go. Gonna pull off my backings over here. I'm off to the side. I have a little trash can over here, so I'm just, you know, not that they don't end up all over the house eventually, right? Okay, so I'm just going to attach that right there to the front of my card. Okay, that's it for that. So I can put all of those things away. Okay, now I cut some things out here, and I made a discovery, so I can't wait to share this with you. I'm going to pour everything out that I have in here. So I cut out a basic label from that die set that is, let me find it here. There's a label here that has no flowers on it. It's just a plain hexagonal label. And then out of Balmy Blue, I cut this label that has the flowers around it. That's what this looks like right here. And then I just cut out some assorted flowers that came from all of these little flowers that are in here. Some are more solid and some are more kind of outlined images, okay? Now here's what I discovered. So I can't wait to show this with you. I'm gonna get my poker and poke out some of these little chads that are hanging here. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same thing over here. Okay, and I don't know, maybe you guys are smarter than me, but this is what I discovered. They designed this so well. So do you see how these flowers kind of pull away here from this label? It kind of creates a slot. That is so this label will fit underneath those, and those flowers will overlap the label a little bit. Look at that. Isn't that so cool that it does that? I was like, wow, I'm really kind of impressed with that. So there we go. All right, so that's my discovery of the day. I don't know, maybe you guys knew that. I did not know that. Okay, so I'm gonna take my white panel and I'm gonna take the words, thinking of you, and I'm going to stamp that in Night of Navy. Thanks. I thought it was cool too. I was like, wow, that's a really good design there. Okay, so I'm going to say thinking of you. I'm doing thinking of, and then my U is a separate stamp here. These are from that Sentimental Park stamp set. There we go. Isn't that pretty? So fun. So let me put this ink away for now. So I'm going to adhere, put a little glue on the back side of this, and I'm going to pop that in to that slot so that it sits really nicely on there. And then I'm going to do the same thing here on this other side. There we go. It just like lays so nicely on there. So pretty. Okay, so then what I've done, and for some reason I feel like one of them is missing, and that's going to frustrate me. I've cut a bunch of these flowers. I can cut another one. It wouldn't be so hard. From those more solid flower designs, and I don't know if you can tell, but you can see in there that there's some embossing in there. If I have to cut another one, you know what? It wouldn't take me but half a second here. And here's another cool thing. So maybe it would be cool that I show you. These three little ones all come on the same die, and there's more than one of these dies. So you could literally cut a whole bunch of balmy blue flowers all at once with your mini die cutting machine. Let me grab some balmy blue from back here on my cubicle. And I'm going to take my balmy blue and I'm going to put my die there, and it is going to cut 3 at once. I think I'm going to want some more little ones. There we go. See? Isn't that fun? So you could literally, so there's 2 of these and there's some bigger ones. So they've really designed it to kind of help save time for sure. Okay, so let me put that away. Put my die back so I don't lose it. Okay, so here's my label. And the first thing I want to do is take my beautiful navy ribbon. I love this ribbon. It gives the appearance that it's sheer. It kind of feels like a light chambray. It has a light chambray feel to it. I don't know how to say it any other way than that. So I'm going to fold it and then fold it over again, kind of like that. I'm going to make it so it's not so perfect. And I'm just going to layer that onto my label here, and then I'm going to grab some tearing tape and secure it right there in the middle in a certain spot. Thanks, Chelsea. Was that a new discovery just for me, or had any of you seen that before? I hadn't seen that before. So maybe not enough people have played with this yet, and that was just new to me. Okay, so I'm just kind of trimming the edges off. And now that has that ribbon on the back. Isn't that pretty? And I'm going to attach this to the front of my card with some dimensionals now. So I'm going to put some dimensionals in those spaces around that ribbon so that it will secure it down. So I had my celebration on Saturday, and I think the ladies loved all my designs. I hope they did. And they really fell in love with the owls. That was a big hit. The bee from the Queen Bee, I used that. I used the At the Farm stamp set and dies to make a little treat box that was cute. One that was actually designed by Erica Serwin that I cased, and that was really cute and fun. So I'm attaching this larger bloom right there at the bottom. I'm attaching the next larger one kind of up at the top, but I think I better use a mini dimensional on the back side of this one. And what else did we use? Oh, we used the Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper. Maybe when I'm done here, I'll show you some of the things that we made. In this case, I'm going to grab my liquid glue. Oh, it's going to be nice to me. I'm just going to put a dot of glue on either side of, I'm going to put this one down here, I think. And I'm just going to take these little mini flowers and just set them right on top of those glues. There. And here's another one over here. And we just really had a good time. So I had 2 groups come. One came in why not use this other one? You know, why waste a cute flower that you've die cut? I might as well put it on there, right? So we had a chili break in the middle. So we had a group come at 9 and then have chili, and I had a group come to have chili and then craft. So we had a great time. So I'm using the navy of these milky dots, and I just added them to the center. Isn't that fun? Of each of those flowers that I just attached on there. I'm gonna put one right there. Doesn't that add just a great touch to these cards? I'm going to put one right there. Put one, a bigger one in the middle of this one. Oh, I'm loving this. They have such shine to them. It's kind of amazing. Isn't that pretty? Do you guys like that? Okay, and then on the inside, we already have it stamped with that white panel with those flowers on either corner. Isn't that fun? So that is card number 2. I love that one. I hope you do too. Aw, thanks, Kathy. I loved having you here. I love stamping with my peeps. It's so much fun, so relaxing. Everybody's so sweet and kind to each other. It just makes me smile. Okay, so that's card number 2. So we have one more card to go. So far we have made this card and this card, right? So now we have one more. It might be my favorite. I don't know. We'll see. So here's our last card. This is using the Sweet Sorbet paper. And of course, my favorite white organdy glitter ribbon that I just can't get enough of. I love Sweet Sorbet. So this one's super fun. Okay, so here we go. We have a Sweet Sorbet card base that's 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And then I'm gonna take, I've got all my sticky notes hanging around me here. I have already embossed a piece of basic white. Let me pull out my here. That is 3 3/4 by 5 inches. I have a white panel for the inside that's 4 inches by 5 1/4. And then I have a stylish circle. I'm using the 2.5 inch stylish circle. And then I just have some scraps for my flowers. So I'm going to attach this to the front of my Sweet Sorbet card base. And I'm going to add some adhesive. Like I said, I don't like to press into my embossed images, my embossed papers, because I want that embossing to stay really crisp and clean. So isn't that pretty? I love this embossing folder. You guys are really, really going to want to have that. All right. And so now I have 2 DSP panels. One is 1/2 of an inch by 5 1/4. You can guess that that's going to go on the inside. The other one is 3 by 4. And then I cut a piece of soft succulent. You know, soft succulent wasn't listed, but that really looked more like soft succulent to me than shaded spruce. So I'm going to add this panel to the top of this soft succulent one. This is one of my favorite card designs. I use this design a lot when I am making swaps. And the reason why is because out of a 12 by 12 piece of DSP, if you cut these panels 3 by 4, then you can get 12 panels out of one sheet of DSP. So it really helps you to get a lot of DSP out of one sheet of paper. Okay, now this is that white organdy ribbon, so I'm going to go ahead, and you know my rule: 1, 2, 3, 4, and a little bit more. If you want to tie a bow, you go 4 and a little bit more. If you want to tie a knot, you just do 3 links. That's all you need. And I don't know, I did 4 once and it wasn't enough, so I always add just a little bit more. Make sure I have plenty of room to tie my ends. Okay, so how do I tie my bows? People ask me this all the time. I always take, everybody has their own way, this is my way and it's worked well for me. Take the right side over the left side and form a V. I call it my V for victory. I take the top ribbon underneath and then I pull it like into 2 perpendicular lines. Okay, now I think this is the key. You put your finger underneath and you loop up from the bottom, go around and inside the hole where your finger is holding it all flat, and it makes a perfect bow every time. It takes some practice. I have some people that say, I keep practicing, I'm getting better at it. So, but I don't know. It just came naturally to me that way. My mom made me tie a lot of bows when I was younger, so I think it just is intuitive. And I realize it may not be intuitive for everybody. So now I'm just kind of messing with it, getting it all the ends and everything the way I want them to be. There we go. There's my bow. All right, I'm going to take my tails, cut them off a little bit. Then I can go ahead and add this panel. It's already so pretty, isn't it? To the top of my card base, and I'm going to use some dimensionals. Now, what if this is a little more slacky than you like? My tip is to take your seal, put it down, and then pull that slack into the center, and that seal will kind of hold that little bit of slack in place right there. Okay, then I'm going to add some dimensionals to the back side. Thank you guys for all your comments and the things that you're saying. It just makes me happy to know that you're engaging with me. Here we go. We had some sad events on Saturday. We had 2 close family friends pass away in the same day. They were both fathers of my kids' friends through middle school, high school, college, all of that. One was kind of expected and the other was not. So, good thing we're not going out of town this weekend because we have 2 funerals in one day, which is kind of sad. But you know, I truly believe God works all things out in your life. So when things doesn't work out, there's probably a reason for it, right? Okay, so now I've got this stitched stylish circle that is 2.5 inches in diameter. And I'm going to stamp on this, "Let's Celebrate You." So I'm going to pull out my "Let's Celebrate." I'm going to grab my Sweet Sorbet ink pad, and I'm going to stamp. Sticky notes are a good thing. What would you do? I know, right, Kathy? I have them all over my desk at school as well. I use them a lot. Okay, so I'm going to do "Let's Celebrate" right there in the, look how pretty that font is. Oh my goodness, I love the fonts in this stamp set. And then I'm going to do "You" again, but before I stamp it, I'm going to make sure I've cleaned the navy off from the previous card. Okay, I'm going to grab "You." And I'm going to stamp it right over here towards the right. There we go. So pretty. Put that aside. This is going to pop up right here on this card, but before I do that, I'm going to add some of those flowers. So I'm going to take my scrap out again here, and I'm again just going to stamp this time the outline of those, put those away, flowers, and then stamp some leaves that I'm going to punch out as well. So I'm going to start by doing the flowers. There we go. And I'm going to grab my punch. Line that up. There we go. I had to concentrate there. Whoop. Got those. Then I am going to think about how to do this. All right, I'm going to stamp some leaves in that soft succulent. Here we go. And my soft succulent ink pad. Oh, thanks. It is beautiful, isn't it, Chelsea? I do love it, I have to say. I really do. And it wasn't one of my very first ones that I fell in love with. I'll be honest, because you know, you'd kind of go, gosh, I feel like I have a lot of flowers, right? But then they just do something special that makes you think, I need to have that. I need to have that one, because it's really cool how that label fits inside the other label, and all the little extra things that you don't think about when you're looking at it in the catalog. There are some fun things that happen when you actually start playing with the stamp set at home. And that's the whole fun of creativity, right? Like you pull it out, you're like, I wonder, and all three of these designs are my original designs. You know, sometimes I do case people, but I took this out on Saturday and I just started going for it, and it was just really fun to play with. So I'm doing 3 of these leaves. There we go. And now I'm going to take my circle and my flowers, and I'm going to do kind of what I did last time. I'm going to kind of curl those petals with my finger. I'm going to add a dimensional here to the back side. I'm going to start with that one about right there. I'm going to do my second one. Same thing. I'm going to add a dimensional. That sweet sorbet, isn't that a pretty color? Isn't that fun? There we go. And then my little one down here, I'm going to add to the bottom, and I'm going to do the same thing, kind of pull those petals a little bit and adhere it down here. So now that I have my flowers the way I want them, I'm going to add some adhesive. And I prefer liquid on little pieces like this. I'm just going to add a tiny bit to the back side and kind of tuck them under where I want them to be. Now you could go hog wild on this, right? We could have added a lot more flowers, but I kind of wanted to keep this one a little simpler. Okay, we're going to put that one right there. And then one more here is going to go kind of down here on the bottom to the right of the flower. There we go. And let me take my milky dots, and I'm going to use these mango ones that are down here at the bottom, and I am going to add them to the center of my flowers. Add a big one to that one, a small one to that one, and a small one to this one right here. I'm going to push it where I want it to be. There we go. And then this whole circle is going to pop up. Isn't that pretty? I love that. I hope you guys love it. I know I say that about my own designs, but I just love how it all comes together. And it's all about the color coordination, right? And the ease of their designs. It really does make it a joy to paper craft. So if you're out there thinking, I really would love to get a 20% discount for as long as I want on Stampin' Up! Products, think about joining my team. We're really easygoing, low pressure, and I think you would have some fun with it, okay? And, you know, if there's a lot that you like from the mini catalog, it's a good time to join. I know some of you have been demonstrators before in the past. It's a good time to rejoin. And as you know, you can quit anytime and there's no pressure, and we just have fun in a community of people that get us and understand why we're so crazy about Stampin' Up. I'm crazy about Stampin' Up. I love this company a lot. It's brought a lot of joy to my life, and it's brought a lot of friendships and friendships from afar, right, Roz? People that we've never really even met in person that we just feel connected to, and Sue, that I get to meet and talk to every week via Facebook, and we're just intertwined in our lives. So there it is. There's our third card. Do you guys love that? Oh, thank you. I love them all too. I had a ton of fun creating these. I'll put them all out here if you would like to take a picture. And remember, if you would like to take this, get a card kit to go, I will send you a card kit of 6 cards to make these pieces. You're going to need the dies and stuff, or you can fussy cut them, whatever you want to do. I don't die cut all the little intricate dies, but I do die cut the labels and the simpler things for you, and provide you the ribbon to go with the cards and all of that. If you spend over $50, you can get the card kit for a $35 order. If you use this host code right here, NRZZTBXZ, by Friday, because I need to get things, you know, made and out in the mail. So there you go. I hope you'll consider purchasing from me. I'm going to move the camera up and back around. There we go. I'm getting better at that, aren't I? The whole flipping the phone thing, that takes a lot of practice. So God bless everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight. I'm always humbled that you're willing to watch my creations, and I hope that you enjoyed seeing the things that I made, and I inspired you to make some of your own. So I will see you next Monday, Martin Luther King Day, after my taco class, and right here at 7 o'clock for my next Tuddle Up Stamping Facebook Live. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care. God bless. Trying to stop it.